There has been a lot of talk lately about Donald Trump's physical and mental health. Well, there's been a lot of talk about his mental health forever, but we're starting to pay more attention to his physical health now, and for good reason. His ankles are swollen, and look at the bruises on his hand that he's trying to cover up with makeup. Him slurring his words, calling Canada, thinking Leningrad is still a city and it's not St. Petersburg now. He mispronounces words. He forget what he said about a minute ago. And he's showing signs of congestive heart failure, dementia, and a whole host of health problems. Do I think Donald Trump is dying? Quite possibly. I mean, he is obviously in very poor health, and there's a lot of other videos on YouTube where you can look at articles all over the internet that talk about his health in more depth than I am, and people who know a lot more than I do about his mental and physical health. But I think he is quite possibly dying. He is clearly in very bad health. But it's possible that he could resign, but I don't think so. I think he could keel over or simply go to bed one night and not wake up. Now, if he does die, it won't be the end, because there's a lot of people waiting for that to happen in the shadows. Somebody who's not a complete fucking idiot could rise up and reclaim his personality cult for themselves. I mean, there's just no end of candidates. I don't think J.D. Vance is one of them. I don't. He doesn't seem to have the charisma or the oratory skills that Donald Trump has. That being said, we'll get back to the initial topic. Trump could be dying, and he's talked about, heaven, and he says he has nightmares about going to hell. And anyway, the thing is I do not know his exact health. I think his exact state of his health. Do I think the doctors are downplaying it? Oh yeah. Do I know the specifics? No. Obviously not. However, it's really, really interesting, because if Donald Trump is dying and he knows it, if he fails to be known in a positive light, he will strive to make himself notorious. And like another person with narcissistic personality disorder, Elliot Rodgers, said, infamy is better than total obscurity. And he could do some very, very horrible things, people, to make sure that we remember him forever, even if it isn't in a positive light. But he has a very unhealthy lifestyle. His lifestyle puts him at risk for congestive heart failure, dementia, and several types of cancer. He could have any number of those things. And I thought it was funny and interesting that they always mocked Joe Biden about his health. They made fun of him, made fun of his speech impediment and things like that. But it appears that Donald Trump is in much worse health than Biden ever was. Because after all, he's this big fat guy with swollen ankles. And he keeps forgetting stuff. Like, Canada, Alaska is part of Russia, and shit like that. See, this incredibly ignorant man's brain is being ravaged, most likely by dementia. And but when they made fun of Joe Biden's health, the only thing I think of is that every accusation is a confession. And remember this, people, when politicians promise you good things, do not believe them. When they promise you bad things, believe them. I could go on, but that's enough for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Be good, y'all. Peace.